is unattainable, but that should not stop us from trying to achieve it.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You're here? Good thing I replaced most of the metal components in my armor with carbon nanotubes a while back.
A single copper wire is all I need to strangle you, Stark. Should I choose to do so?
Oh, yeah, right. Remind me whose side you're on.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area. No, it's Galacta, daughter of Galactus, you idiot!
Hey, Chad! Someone clip this! Hope I make the cut!
Cosmic might returns. Healing power.
We are undefeatable!
Looks like we got ourselves a party.
Quantum match. I require some aid.
Born again! Your powers are mine! A thousand gods! A thousand gods!
There is only one Sorcerer Supreme. Pentagram of Paran. Good medicine.
Hey, Chad! Someone clip this!
Get in there.
This officially makes us BFFs now.
Strike at me if you dare.
We are undefeatable!
Leave me Magneto! Pulse charge, fire! Out, Stark Magnet control.
Bogey's coming up behind.
Still got an edge. Armed and dangerous! Again!
I am a true team player.
The Doctor is in.
Bring on the chaos.
Tanny needs help.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Hey, Chad! Someone clip this!
By the Eye of Agamotto!
We are undefeatable! Only 60 seconds left. Funny, Death told me the same thing. When you two dated!
Your powers are mine! Boom! Nice skill shot!
portal.
Still enough time for me to totally blow it.
This portal.
Blade is in his element.
Another epic victory! Big win!
This is Power Hour.
And he said, America is a profoundly diverse nation, therefore even our Nazis are DEI. Which is, you know, and here's the double standard.
Please,
he went
please welcome
to the
me
Streamer
to the
Awards
jungle,
dressed as
Mr.
Chairman Mao.
Overwatch Gaming
But you see how
Warlock
nobody gives him
Ghost.
pushback for this? Chairman Mao killed 60 million Chinese people. 60 million Chinese people. Genocide. More recently than World War II. Do you see any think pieces? Do you see anybody getting upset? He's cosplaying as one of the most genocidal leaders of all time. This is exactly what Chairman Mao wore. He's not dressed up. I mean, that's AI. But this is what he's cosplaying. Guy who's, you know, borderline a communist. If he could be a communist, he would be. But he says socialism. This is what he's about. But nobody's going to criticize him for this. Nobody. You're not going to see.
I mean, it's not invalid. It's not invalid. I mean, what if you wore the painter's outfit without the thing? I mean, you'd be getting some pushback, surely, right? Right?
Any articles about that? Chairman Mao was guilty of the same things that leaders during World War II were. Genocide on a mass scale. And so they keep saying 6 million people died in the Holocaust. Chairman Mao killed 60 million people. If that figure from Mao is correct, that's 10x genocide. Do you see Times of Israel? Do you see Jerusalem? Do you see him banned from nightclubs? Do you see him banned from the streamer?
Oh, it's just a Chinese suit, he says. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Streamer Awards. Do you see Twitch getting all up in arms about that? Is Twitch going to face any backlash for the fact that at the Streamer Awards, where everybody is, he's dressing up like Chairman Mao, genocidal leader? No, they're not going to. Because it's not really about genocide. It's not really about the amount of people that died.
Just a German suit? Well, yeah.
It's inconsistent. You're saying Mao wasn't racist? And this is also the stupid thing. Like, Chairman Mao wasn't racist. So do you think that racism is worse than genocide? Do you see this fucking...
Which hero do you think you might be today?
Do you see this retarded... How retarded that is? At least Chairman Mao wasn't racist. Yeah, but he killed 10x the people that died in the Holocaust, you fucking idiot. But he wasn't hateful. But he killed 60 million people. Obviously, that's worse than racism,
Now,
stupid idiot.
Who am I gonna banish
Genocide
for
is...
this match?
Miracle. One of the reasons I'm doing this today.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Greg Bovino. I'm the Commander at Large for Customs and Border Protection Assets here in the great city of Minneapolis. I'm here to talk with you today about interior enforcement, border security, and making our communities and our nation a safer place. I'm joined by my colleague, Executive Associate Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Mr. Marcos Charles.
Round one.
Now, folks, let me be clear from the start that public safety in Minneapolis is not negotiable. When violent criminals
30
exploit
seconds
gaps
before
in
you attack.
enforcement,
Get ready.
gaps at that state and local level especially, federal law enforcement has a responsibility to act. That is why we are here, and that is what this operation is about. Our operations are lawful, they're targeted, and they're focused on individuals who pose a serious threat
The
to
battle
this
starts in
community.
5,
They are not
4,
random,
3, 2,
and they are not
1.
political. They
You
are
have to
about
stop
removing
them from
criminals
securing the
who
mission
are
area.
actively harming Minneapolis neighborhoods. For too long, residents have been told that enforcing our nation's immigration laws undermines public safety. In reality, the opposite is true. And the laws on the court, violent offenders remain free. Criminal networks expand. Our friends pay the price. Rather than confront that reality, which I've just spoken of, leaders like this or Mayor Pride have relied on residents, accusations that distract them of facts. The fact that federal agents are arresting murderers, rapists, child predators, cartel-connected criminals, and other individuals who pose a real danger to the people of Minneapolis. As these operations began in cities, there have been constant attempts to interfere of our nation's Title 8 immigration laws here in Minneapolis. Officers have been violently and aggressively assaulted, objects have been thrown, and vehicles damaged. Despite that violence, enforcement has continued unabated. Our officers remain professional, focused, courteous, and committed to the mission. That mission again being Title 8 immigration enforcement.
Watching this spot might be smart.
This effort reflects a coordinated federal approach. Agencies are working together under Title 8 authority. Agencies like the United States Border Patrol, Immigration and Customs Enforcement,
By the eye of Agamotto!
FBI, DEA, DCF, and many others came together under this operation, under this endeavor. We share intelligence and execute operations in a unified manner. That coordination is essential to effective enforcement and public safety. Since the start of this operation, we've arrested some of the most dangerous criminal offenders operating in Minnesota. In the entire state of Minnesota, we have arrested some of the most violent criminal offenders right here in this city. These are not minor violations or minor garden variety. These are repeat offenders with serious criminal activity. Now, folks, before I came here today, I printed out a couple of individuals that were arrested since yesterday. These 3 individuals were arrested just since yesterday. Keep in mind that these individuals were walking the streets of Minneapolis. We've got
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
It's a charge, including fundamentalism and failure to register as a sex offender. This individual walking the streets with Minneapolis just yesterday. This individual right here. It's very interesting that I haven't seen this individual, or maybe I would like him, reported very much by the local news media or the state media. That's interesting. Let's quit there. No, you can't. Let's continue here. We've got C. Orlando Fernandez, a illegal alien from Guatemala, charged with rape and lewd or lascivious acts to the minor. Think about that. Rape. Walks the streets of Minneapolis with impunity just yesterday. Let's don't quit there. Let's confirm that we've got Annabelle Gomez, a criminal illegal alien from Honduras, previously arrested for criminal sexual
Time
conduct
to switch
and
things
domestic
up,
assault.
including which
Other
side
convictions
you're
include
on.
disorderly conduct and driving under the influence of liquor.
You'll need a top-notch
walking
team
the
to win
street
this
as
one.
of yesterday.
worry.
These are just
No
three.
timeline exists
Three
where
that I
Magneto
could print out. There's a whole
yields.
stack of them. There's a whole stack.
Where Andrew's from is another good example of that too. And so they've been gentrified. They've been totally gentrified. Like it's actually insane the level of gentrification. Like I don't want to go on a big tangent, so like just gonna give me 2 minutes for this. Is that like I went down to a fucking photo shoot for merchandise whenever I was involved with OTK, and I realized that the house was literally across the street from Cody and Jeff's grandma's house, like their old house. Like they had passed away, and this was many years ago. But I remember going to this house, and I'll just say it was on Riverside, and it was down under the overpasses there, and it was a really ghetto area, and like there was like chain link fence all around, and you weren't even supposed to knock on the front door. And now I couldn't even recognize the place. All of the graffiti's gone, all of the different, and like there's literally just people outside selling drugs. Like this is how it is. And anybody who lives in Austin, you know the Riverside HEB. The Riverside HEB used to be a PvP server. It was. And now there's Tesla charging stations there. The entire place has been totally fucking gentrified. And all of the people that used to live there aren't living there anymore. Now, who is living there? White women are living there that have love on the side of the fucking house that used to be a trap house. That's what's happening. And all of those people, so Austin prospering is at the expense of a lot of these actual Austinites that have been natives to the country or city for 40, 50 years. So, I understand what Andrew's saying. I do, I get it. Austin's doing okay, but it's doing well for the top 50% of the population. The bottom 50% are being strangulated by fucking property taxes, and they're being priced out of their own homes. So that's my opinion on Austin. Okay.
This is prospering. Yeah.
That's.
I think. Why you think? It's doing better.
It's awesome.
New bars and restaurants have opened.
Yeah.
But I can probably think of some better examples. Like Nashville's doing good. Austin's doing good. Phoenix is doing good. Basically, any place with low state tax is getting a lot of.
In any place that's not Democrat.
I don't know about that. I mean,
name a Democrat city that's prospering right now.
Well, it would have to be one that's affordable.
Name one.
It's time for Lefties Losing It, and former CNN hack Don Lemon continues to defend the indefensible. His role in storming a church during a Sunday service, terrifying parishioners, including little kids. It's all on tape, and Lemon was dumb enough to air it all. So despite his denials, we know he was aware of what these crazed activists had planned, and he was on board with every bit of that lunacy. And this sad clown is such an attention seeker that he is now trying to manufacture a ongoing feud with superstar Nicki Minaj after she called him out for his part in storming a church. He's hit back with this ugly diatribe.
Nicki Minaj, stop talking about for which you know nothing about. This is you're out of your depth. by the way, and you are a homophobic bigot, you don't care about African Americans, and you're not an African American. From what I know, you are reportedly an undocumented citizen, so you should be deported under Donald Trump's rules. Get a life. Stop being a pick-me. You should have put a pick-me doll on that damn tweet instead of a Chucky doll, because you are nothing but a pick-me. And I choose not to pick you. And so should black people, and so should gay people. Shouldn't buy your music.
So, Don Lemon storms a church to stop illegal immigrants being deported. He's so passionate about that issue, but he now wants Nicki Minaj to be deported because she called him out. And he wasn't done with his degrading, misogynistic rant. He then went on to TMZ to continue the meltdown and call for Minaj to be cancelled. Nicki really got into his head.
I normally don't respond to things like this, but, you know, F it. I'm going to do it this time. I think Nicki Minaj has made it very clear how she feels about African Americans in this country. Boy, I don't think she's one of them, obviously. And she should, under Trump's rules, she should be deported. Why are you supporting her? Why are you buying her records? She's also supporting, I have lots of gay friends who love Nicki Minaj. Why are you supporting this homophobic, bigoted, ignorant woman? You should not be supporting her. Nicki Minaj, this is clearly out of her depth. She doesn't understand politics. She doesn't understand journalism. And I'm not surprised that she is weighing in on something that is beyond her capacity.
On-screen gaffes, sexist comments. In his 17 years with CNN, Don Lemon didn't just report the headlines, he made them. Over a decades-long career, Don Lemon demonstrated both charm and controversy. After joining CNN in 2006, he was prominently featured as an anchor on several different shows and was associated with some major stories. His public profile rose after he publicly came out as gay in 2011, and again when he became both a critic and a target of former President Donald Trump. At the same time, Lemon's style of journalism and a host of gaffes, both real and perceived, made him a figure of fun online. More substantial controversies came about through his remarks to a sexual abuse victim during an interview, and comments made about the black community. Behind the scenes at CNN, Lemon allegedly alienated coworkers through a diva attitude and misogynistic comments, but his cozy relationship with management kept him from getting into trouble. His April 2023 dismissal from the network came after a short tenure as a morning show host generated a run of negative headlines.
This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don.
30 seconds before you
To
attack.
judge solely on
Get
Donald
ready.
Trump's angry tirades against Don Lemon during his administration, someone might assume that the former CNN anchor was a Democrat. But Lemon's politics have varied considerably throughout his life. In an interview with GQ in 2015, he said he was a registered Republican in college and had voted for Ronald Reagan. Decades later, Lemon was an independent who voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. Lemon said that the Reagan administration's handling of the 1980s AIDS crisis turned him off from the Gipper. But some of Lemon's stated values and positions have led others to still describe him as conservative. Lemon rejects that label, but denies being a liberal, too. As a black gay man, he belongs to two demographics often counted as reliable Democrats. But he's been outspoken about his independence. He told GQ, "I think I have values that are important and realistic, and I thought out what my values should be." Lemon's frustration with political labels extends to the political parties themselves. Though he regularly votes in elections, he's complained on air about the restrictive nature of the two-party system and the pressure it exerts to generate lockstep voting behind candidates. Don Lemon has been a popular anchor in his time, though not always for the reasons a journalist might wish. A profile on him by GQ led with a description of his more embarrassing moments at CNN. Anchors working on cable news networks are in a medium that can lend itself to easy sound bites over nuanced discussion. Tripping over your words is inevitable sooner or later, and Lemon's online critics have taken delight in chronicling his gaffes. Lemon first became the target of widespread online criticism for a more serious matter. In 2013, against the background of the George Zimmerman trial, he expressed sympathy for conservative commentator Bill O'Reilly's assessment of the black community and offered his own harsh challenging description. The rebuke he faced didn't dim his star at CNN, but it did seem to put a target on his back as far as the web was concerned. Some of the criticism of Lemon wasn't entirely accurate. Over the years, Lemon was said to have interviewed Obama, took it for granted that Ferguson would smell of marijuana, and supposedly speculated that a black hole could have swallowed up Malaysian Flight 370. None of these incidents were as silly as they sounded after being passed around online. He interviewed a llama handler, and the black hole question was submitted by a viewer and dismissed by Lemon as ridiculous.
This llama is famous. Pierre is famous. Why?
In 2021, Don Lemon found himself caught up in the Jussie Smollett case. Smollett was accused of faking an assault in 2019, and while initially acquitted, he faced subsequent charges in 2020 leading to the trial. Lemon and Smollett knew each other and maintained contact during the trial, something Lemon admitted on air while covering developments of the case. While acknowledging the falsehood spread by Smollett, Lemon maintained that he deserved to be assumed innocent until proven guilty. In his testimony, Smollett testified that he was first made aware that Chicago-based the story behind his assault from a text sent by Lemon. The anchor had to disclose that particular point of contact, only if he turned over his phone records to investigators. Though there was no legal prohibition against Lemon discussing this with Smollett, it was seen by many as a breach of journalistic ethics. Journalists aren't supposed to get involved in the stories they cover. There were calls for Lemon to be fired, with the situation compared to Chris Cuomo's dismissal after his involvement with his brother Andrew's controversy. Cuomo's own lawyers made a comparison in arbitration with CNN. No professional consequences befell Lemon for his texts, which were only referred to in Smollett's testimony. For Smollett, the trial ended in a conviction, a brief jail stint, and a $145,000 fine. CNN may advertise itself as the most trusted name in the news, but the network has faced regular criticism for its coverage. It was a regular target for Jon Stewart during his run on The Daily Show. Stewart highlighted the unseriousness of CNN with a segment titled, CNN anchor Don Lemon appears not to care for CNN. In it, Lemon struggled to keep a straight face and made sardonic aside while reporting a story about how much it would theoretically cost to attend Hogwarts.
Okay, I say it costs zero because it doesn't exist.
In an interview with Creative Logan, Lemon directly voiced some of his issues with cable news, particularly the gaudy production elements around news shows. He told the publication, "It reminds me of a game show. If I want to watch The Price is Right, I'll watch The Price is Right." While explicitly naming his own network, Lemon did seem to hit on issues with CNN. When asked if he was expected to reflect a preset type comparable to a reliably liberal or conservative commentator from other networks, Lemon was uncomfortable with such a fixed label. At other times, Lemon has been more defensive of CNN. In an interview with Stewart's colleague Stephen Colbert, he stood up for new CEO Chris Licht's strategy of pursuing moderate Republican voices. Don Lemon has said that he knew he was a gay man since childhood, and he made no secret of it among colleagues. But Lemon did not discuss his sexuality on air or in any public forum. He was advised not to by his management team and by trusted mentors, for fear it could cost him his career in an era when only 2 news anchors with a national platform were openly gay. Though he thinks he would have come out eventually, Lemon told Pink News that he was moved to share his sexuality after the suicide of Tyler Clementi. Clementi was a student at Rutgers University who died after he was reportedly filmed in an
ready to put on a show!
by his classmates. Lemon told Pink News, "I don't want there to be any more Tyler Clementis." He had long resisted writing a book about his life, but after encountering Clementi's story, he decided that discussing his upbringing and acknowledging his own sexuality would be beneficial to other vulnerable youth.
Got to start with one part.
The memoir, Transparent, was dedicated on August 11, 2019, Don Lemon became the target of a lawsuit. According to Deadline, a man named Justin Hikes alleged that the year prior he had been sexually harassed by a man in a bar in Sag Harbor, New York. He reportedly attempted to extract $1.5 million from the anchor to avoid the suit, and before erasing his social media presence, posted quotes of then-President Donald Trump criticizing Lemon's employer, CNN. The network was quick to deny the incident, and Lemon offered no immediate comment. His lawyer characterized the suit as a malicious cash grab with no basis in fact. While the lawsuit was seized upon by some critics of Lemon, Hice's case was complicated by his own actions. In March 2022, he was fined $77,000 to be paid to Lemon, after a judge determined that Hice had attempted to bribe witnesses and interfere with potential evidence. By that May, the suit was finished. Early in Don Lemon's tenure at CNN, he was paired with Kira Phillips on the Live From block based out of Atlanta. Phillips was an established presence on the network, and the team was close. According to a lengthy investigation by Variety, Lemon's behavior upon joining the team alienated and disturbed his coworkers. He was said to be openly resentful of Phillips being given plum assignments, and he reportedly tore up notes and personal items on her desk. Producers allegedly had to speak to Lemon during commercials more than once. The threatening text messages sent to Phillips, Variety claimed, were traced back to Lemon. He denied the charge through a CNN spokesperson, but shortly after the incident, he was demoted from Live From to a weekend slot. Years later, Lemon was made co-host of a morning show with Poppy Harlow and Kate Collins. A series of comments taken as misogynistic invited criticism, and Harlow allegedly left the set in frustration for one such incident. The tabloid reports painted an even more dramatically contentious atmosphere, with Lemon raging at Collins for supposedly interrupting him during the December 8, 2020 broadcast. Lemon and Collins offered no comment on the story, and when Lemon was fired from CNN, Collins and Harlow wished him well. The run of negative headlines ahead of Don Lemon's dismissal from CNN began in February 2023. He described Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley, 51, as, quote, crime. While meant as a challenge to Haley's demand for competency testing for older politicians, the comments were widely taken as sexist, and Lemon was briefly suspended and told to go through sensitivity. It was in the wake of those comments that Variety published a lengthy piece on Lemon that suggested a history of misogynistic statements and behaviors. Past conflicts with his 2008 co-host Stuart Phillips were rehashed. As were claims he disrespected other female members. Lemon was said to have insulted producers, gotten female critics blacklisted from appearing on CNN, and alienated himself from His on-air comments over the years included a claim that men's soccer players earn more money than women by being more popular. And he allegedly asked inappropriate questions of one survivor of Bill Cosby's sexual abuse.
Time for Lefties Losing Out, and let's start with fallen celebrity Ellen DeGeneres, who is such a horror show that has been variously described by staff and guests as toxic, terrifying, manipulative, demeaning, and the worst and meanest person I've met. Yes, that fake persona, the down-to-earth girl with a sunny disposition, well, that all fell apart when those who worked with Ellen exposed.
I am ready to put on a show!
Scenes, including this terrifying tidbit of a cameraman who alleged that an employee was pressured to move their child's from marriage to accommodate Ellen's schedule. Yikes. So Ellen and West Trump America moved to the UK. Thinks about ICE and efforts to be forced to
Hey everybody, I just wanted to say I am so sorry for what is happening in Minneapolis and our country, really. But specifically Minneapolis right now, because it's where I shot my last stand-up special. And everybody there couldn't have been more lovely. I shot it there because they say it's the happiest city in America. And I found that to be true. So my I'm proud of everyone who's protesting peacefully, and I am sorry for everyone who has been hurt. Just for protesting, for doing what you should be doing.
She's proud of the protesters this year, the supposedly peaceful protesters who spit on ICE agents, who attack them, try to run them over. And good news, these feral protesters aren't just busying themselves storming churches and attacking law enforcement and trying to help prisoners from deportation. They're devoting a whole day to a walkout. This is a campaign to
I am ready to put on a show! Disappear!
By the eye of Agamotto!
Congress has the power to remove a tyrant from office. It's not an option.
I'm opening a portal.
So at 3 p.m., we'll start walking into local congressional offices to demand impeachment and removal.
We are peacefully demanding that our representatives file their own articles of impeachment against Trump and senior Trump officials.
Another epic victory!
Donald Trump has committed to readministration of justice.
And turning ICE into a paramilitary force is an act of treason.
On January 20th, we are telling our congressional officials that it is their duty right now to impeach, convict, and remove.
Impeach, convict, and remove. Impeach, convict, and remove.
Yep, what they're talking about there is a peaceful coup.